Hello, UW alumni and friends. Welcome to the Cowgirls Basketball Alumni Pregame Pep Talk featuring former Cowgirl Marquelle Dent. Brought to you by Black Hills Energy, UWAA Federal Credit Union, and Laramie GM Auto Center. The Cowgirls open Mountain West Conference tournament play on either March 7th or March 8th in Las Vegas. The opponent and game time were not determined at the time of this recording. I'm excited to be with former Cowgirl basketball player Marquelle Dent to share her UW experience. Marquelle was a key player on two 20-plus win teams and had some exciting performances in the Mountain West Conference tournament games. In fact, she was part of a 3-overtime loss to CSU in 2014. That was one of the most memorable games. So Marquelle, we're so glad to have you here. Welcome.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Well, why don't you catch us up today on your time at UW, who you played for, the years you played, and then what have you been up to since?
All right. Well, I played for Coach Legursky. My years were 2012 through 2016. Right now, I'm currently a graduate assistant at Regis University down here in Colorado. So I've been super busy doing that and really excited to just continue to coach in the next couple of years, but that's what's been keeping me busy.
All right. So what degree did you earn at UW?
Communications degree at UW, and right now I'm actually pursuing a graduate degree in nonprofit management.
That's awesome. Were you drawn to coaching immediately when you graduated?
I wasn't. I was kind of planning on playing for a long time after. That was kind of the plan right after I graduated and headed over to Portugal to play for a couple months and didn't have the greatest experience over there. And so I came back home to Cheyenne, Wyoming, where my parents are living now, and just kind of tried to do something within basketball and ended up coaching at Cheyenne Central High School as a volunteer coach and kind of just fell in love with it and decided to start my own club team down in Wyoming. And that kind of just grew my love for coaching. And that was kind of where it stemmed from.
Well, I mean, our fans will know that your dad was a great player in the mid-'80s, I believe 84 to 88, somewhere around that range. Was he an encouragement for your goal to pursue some coaching opportunities?
He was. Kind of just told me, do something that, you're going to love and not have to actually work, something that you actually love to do. And obviously I love playing basketball and I love being around the sport. And so he kind of encouraged me to start to get into coaching and honestly fell in love with it.
Oh, that's great. What do you remember most about your Cowgirl experience in the regular season?
One of the things that Coach Joe always talked about was that you're never going to remember the wins and losses. You'll more remember the memories with your teammates and the relationships you built. And that is so true. I mean, there's games that I do remember, most of them against CSU, the rival team. But I think the biggest thing that I'll never forget is just the relationships I built with our coaches and with our teammates, and still have a group chat with former Cowgirls that we stay in contact with and talk about the games when they play. And so I think that's some memories I'll cherish forever.
Do you have a memorable last shot or anything like that to win a game?
I think one of my favorite shots that I made was at Gonzaga. I think it was my senior year, and ended up tying the game at Gonzaga and went into overtime. We didn't end up getting the win, but it was still one of my favorite shots that I think I've made.
Oh, they've always been a strong team. And, there's a tradition at the end of the game. Coach Legursky chose a player to engage with our fans at the end of the game. Tell us a little bit about that experience and what that meant to you and your teammates.
Oh man, it meant a ton. I mean, I remember the first time Coach Joe called my name to go up there and speak. And I think I was probably a sophomore at that time and super nervous and scared to go talk in front of all the fans. But it was super special. And I'll never forget my senior year after we had lost on senior night. And I was super upset that we had lost on senior night. And Coach Joe made me step up there and talk to the fans. And it was just really nice to get up there and thank them for always supporting us. And I think that was the biggest thing, was just to thank them for coming and continuing to support us. And some of them have still kept in contact with me, which is awesome. And we have the best fans in the world for sure.
As the Cowgirls are getting ready to go to the Mountain West Conference tournament, very unfamiliar circumstances with no fans. That wasn't the case when you played. As I went to all of them, and I knew a lot of your family. It certainly seemed like a family affair when you all went to the Mountain West Conference. Tell me a little bit about the family connection and their support at the tournament.
Oh man, it was huge. I think at one point, I'm pretty sure we probably had 30 people there watching a couple games. So they were there for at least 3 years. I know. I don't know if they made it my freshman year, but every single year, my aunts, uncles, my mom and dad, every single one of them got to come out to Vegas. And it was definitely a family affair and something that I know I'll cherish forever. Just looking up and seeing them in Vegas and knowing that they were there to support me was awesome.
You know, the tournament is kind of special. Typically in the Mountain West Conference, you kind of have to win that to get that NCAA berth. Tell me a little bit about the pressure.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure. I think one of the biggest things with Wyoming is you show up and there's more fans than any other team has. And so you're expected to come in there and get a win your first game for sure. And I know we came up short a couple times, but it was a lot of pressure to get in there and win the first game. But we got a couple wins, couple big wins, and some of them were super fun and exciting.
Can you recall anything about the 3 overtime loss to CSU in that game? Just it seemed like there were close baskets right near the end of each of the overtimes that didn't go in or some went in.
I mean, I recall fouling out. I remember I fouled out. I don't think I even made it to an overtime,
Oh
to
my
be
goodness.
honest. I remember that. And I remember coach looking down to the bench because half of our team had fouled out. And I think we had a couple freshmen in, Kaylee Hoffman. I remember hitting a big shot, Shalon Landry. So that was just a fun game. And even though we ended up losing, we fought to the very end. So that was a good game.
Absolutely. Well, as we wrap up here and the team's getting ready, you know, in their preparations, what as a former player would you say as a word of encouragement to these current Cowgirls?
I think the biggest thing is just to have fun and enjoy the moment. When you look back at your college career, it's such an exciting moment to be in the Mountain West Conference tournament. And so really just enjoy it, have fun, and take it all in.
Well, Marquelle, what a pleasure to interview you today. And you are going to be a remarkable coach, and we wish you the best as you get your next opportunity after you finish this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The game will be played on either Sunday, March 7th or Monday, March 8th on the Mountain West Network, or you may listen to the game on your favorite Wyoming radio station on the Cowboy Sports Network. Follow the UWAA and UW Athletics on social media and the Mountain West Conference website for the opponent and game time. Take a photo or video of your Cowgirl basketball celebration using the hashtag #PokesAtHome and tag the UW Alumni Association for a chance to win a piece of UWAA clothing. We will choose the most spirited submission and will contact you if you are the winner. Thank you again to Black Hills Energy, UWAA Federal Credit Union, and Laramie GM Auto Center. Now let's get that Cowgirl spirit going by singing along with us to Ragtime Cowboy Joe.
He always sings, rag music to the Cadillac swing, back and forward in the saddle on a horse, cricket horse, got a syncopated gator, and you ought to hear the beat, just before it makes your feet, how it runs, yes, right, when they hear the music coming, cause the Western folk song go, he's a high-blue, just a high-blue, ragtime cowboy, ragtime cowboy, ragtime cowboy Joe. C-O-W-B